Một anh chàng nuôi một đàn dê rất kỳ lạ. Cứ tối đến, những con dê thay vì đi ngủ thì chúng lại đùa giỡn với nhau không biết mệt mỏi. Sau một thời gian theo dõi, người chăn dắt để ý ngày nào đàn dê ăn một loại trái lạ màu đỏ là chúng lại có biểu hiện như thế. Anh ta đã ăn thử và thấy mình hưng phấn hẳn lên. Câu chuyện đến tai các thầy tu và họ đã thử giã nhỏ hạt hòa chung với nước thì thấy vị thơm đắng lạ kỳ. Kể từ đó, một thức uống giúp người ta tỉnh táo đã có mặt tại Ethiopia. Sau đó lan qua các nước Ả Rập, rồi tới các nước ở châu Âu. Và ngày nay thức uống được gọi là cà phê đã có mặt trên toàn thế giới. Nó phổ biến đến nỗi ai cũng nghĩ cà phê là một thức uống nơi đâu cũng có mà chẳng cần quan tâm tới nguồn gốc của nó từ đâu. Cà phê có rất nhiều loại, nó phụ thuộc vào giống cây, vào nơi trồng, vào quy trình sản xuất và cách pha chế. Đặc biệt là cách pha chế. Nếu ở Ả Rập, người ta giã nhỏ hạt rồi đun nấu cà phê trong ấm, sau đó thưởng thức như uống trà. Thì ở châu Âu, người ta lại dùng những máy hiện đại cho ra những tách cà phê công nghiệp. Đến Việt Nam thì cà phê trở nên hấp dẫn hơn, không chỉ vì mùi vị mà vì sự chờ đợi từng giọt đen sánh chậm rãi nhỏ tí tách từ cái phin nhỏ. Tùy vào văn hóa mỗi quốc gia, cà phê sẽ mang một diện mạo và hương vị khác nhau. Trong chương trình Văn hóa và những người bạn hôm nay, chúng tôi xin giới thiệu đến quý vị một hương vị, một cách pha cà phê truyền thống và tình yêu của một người bạn phương Tây dành cho cà phê và dành cho Việt Nam.
Xin chào quý vị khán giả của chương trình Văn hóa và những người bạn. Tôi là Võ Trọng Phúc và hôm nay tôi xin giới thiệu với các bạn một người bạn sẽ đồng hành với chương trình chúng ta ngày hôm nay. Anh là một người đến từ đất nước Pháp và đã có khoảng thời gian là 7 năm sinh sống và làm việc ở Việt Nam. Và một điều đặc biệt đó là anh chọn một nơi khá xa trung tâm thành phố Đà Lạt để sinh sống và làm việc. Xin giới thiệu với quý vị và các bạn anh Pierre Moret. Xin chào Moret.
Xin chào.
And what do you think about the people here, the environment, the area? What do you think about everything in Đà Lạt?
Sure, for us as a French people, it's quite like art, art of Vietnam, a different way of life, a different way of living, because there is it's more quiet, more peaceful, and there is a lot of connection with our country. My business, like coffee and honey, it's the best place for me to live. So I decided to develop activity close to the nature first, honey, and then I discover wonderful coffee here. Develop it. It's a French coffee bourbon, and with really specific and really a coffee for coffee lover.
A very special kind of coffee called coffee bourbon.
Yes, coffee bourbon is specific coffee who had been planted by Dr. Yersin. He came from the Réunion Island, and my grandfather used to plant it with him in Đà Lạt in 1930, 1935. And now it's one of the best coffee of the world. So we have in Đà Lạt, in Vietnam, also this kind of coffee was really specific. My family is one of the first pioneer who plant this coffee, because Yersin just bring in this coffee, and like he was a friend of my grandfather, they planted it together. Yes, you're right. You are the first here.
You have a farm right behind this house.
Yeah, but the challenge for us is not to have a big farm like in the main coffee business. We decide to create a farm like we say a clos, like it's a domain. It's a small farm, but really specific, like the wine in France, like a Bourgogne. We have some small parcels, small farms, but you just take care of specific coffee for high quality coffee. First, I think that, okay, we have two kinds of coffee, Robusta and Arabica. Robusta grow up under 1,000 sea level, so it's more robust and more powerful because there is a lot of caffeine inside. Yeah. Arabica, it's the opposite. It's higher than 1,200 sea levels. And the best coffee is 100, 500, 600, 800 sea levels, like Dalat or Dassa, we are 100, 500 sea levels. It's good for Arabica and also for this kind of specific coffee. I have to talk the story of this coffee because Louis XVI, one of Arabia, prince from Arabia, they offered to the king of 16 this kind of coffee, and Louis XVI brings this coffee to the Bourbon Island, which now is a Réunion island close to Mauritius, at the bottom of Madagascar. Dr. Yassin asked this coffee and planted this kind of coffee in Vietnam at the beginning of last century.
So that's where the name of the Bourbon coffee from.
Yes. And what I love is because this coffee is relative to the elders, the old people. More and more that when these people taste this kind of coffee, Bourbon, because there is when you drink it, you have a story on your mouth. You can keep it during 3 or 4 or 5 hours after drinking this coffee. That's why it's not it's for coffee lovers. It's not a coffee for main production or for we say now mondialization's coffee. It's business. So let's say it's a specific coffee. For us, more than caffeine, more than strong or light coffee, it's the story that you can have on your mouth which is really important. And this kind of coffee you can drink at 10 p.m. You will sleep like a kid.
Just a little. Yeah, so that's good for the body too. About your coffee, do you use any special fertilization to make it taste better?
Because coffee comes from the jungle. Coffee on a specific Bourbon coffee comes from the jungle, and there is humus, from the soil. We try to use only the humus and the fertilizer that like Fenbo, we was coming from the cow, from the natural animals, from the animals. That's it. We don't use chemical products for that.
So no insecticides?
No. We don't use pesticides. Also, we have less production than coffee for the industry, for sure. We have like less of coffee than coffee for productions.
So, do you use filter to make coffee here, or any special way?
For the Bourbon coffee, we have the French press,
Yeah.
It's quite the same as filter. High quality water. Water is really important. Really, not only warm water. We need high quality water. Water from the forest, pure water, like a pH 7, like really balanced. And we boil, and after we let it 1 or 2 minutes. We need 93 degrees.
Yeah.
And after we pull on the coffee in the coffee filter, and we wait like 1, 2, 3 or 4 minutes, like for Vietnamese coffee, and then we finish with the water and we drink it. And And when you drink coffee and honey, it's really, really nice. It's a real pleasure.
First time I heard about it.
Okay. Sure, for coffee lover, coffee is coffee, drink without sugar, without anything. But if you want to have like a coffee pleasure, you can mix a little with honey.
So besides coffee, you also produce honey.
Yes. I have a culture of honey. I did my study in France. You know, we call it Jardin du Luxembourg in Paris. It's the oldest school of beekeeper of the world. And each year there is some students who come from everywhere to learn the beekeeping. And I study there, and like I wanted to change my life and have more connection with the nature. Before I came to Vietnam, I did my study in honey. So now I work with Vietnamese people also for beekeeping. And we have like 100 beehives. And the difference is in our culture, we wait that the bees close tank of honey, you know, when there's so we wait that the honey is really mature before we took it. So it's really, we say, heavy honey. There is no water inside, and just a little, and it's a specific coffee flower honey. It's really nice because it's also it's linked with coffee.
And the way people protect the environment here, does it affect your coffee?
Because you know, the industry of vegetable stuff like that, we know that it's not a surprise. It affects a lot the phreatic nap, the water. So after it's come back to the coffee tree, so it's not good for the coffee plantation, for natural or organic products. And I am anxious about all those greenhouse who are coming now through the forest, because we need to preserve environment for you and for your kids and for my kids. That's really important in the future.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a coffee lover, and that's what's a very nice and an interesting story you have told us about coffee, and I admire your life here. Very simple, and thank you very much for your story with us today with cultures and friends.
I hope you can bring with you a part of that soul. My opinion is the world is changing and need to change, and we are a part of those actors.
Thank you very much.